Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Robbie South Teaches How Money Works, the podcast where we teach you how money works so that you become financially free in the time frame that you want and as quickly as possible. Today, we're going to have a very special guest on the podcast who has many, many years of experience and a wealth of knowledge that I hope to get a fraction of today and just build on that and become as knowledgeable and as great of a person as he is. He's been doing this almost as long as I've been alive. He's just a wonderful guy, great experience. So I'm going to have him introduce himself and tell us just a little bit about his work history, where he came from and what he's doing now. So Mr. Kenan Godfrey, if you would, just tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Hey, Robbie, and thanks for that warm welcome and introduction. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you, get a chance to share some of the nuggets of experience that I've had with you, and I enjoy doing that. So yeah, like you said, I do have a bit of experience in the industry. I started back in the early 2000s, 2003. I got my life license and my securities license then, and I've held those ever since. And I basically, grew up in the retirement plan business as a retirement education specialist. And, I learned a lot about the industry from the manufacturing standpoint, because I worked with a company that actually, built the product that I was servicing. And I was out also client facing. So I was out there educating the, thousands of, municipal government workers and so forth. And all those interactions, gave me a lot of perspective, teaching the classes, sitting down with them, reviewing their retirement goals, and just counseling them. And that really helped shape the identity of myself in the industry. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with people. I still do. But however, there was always this entrepreneurial side of me, which wanted to be unleashed, and just couldn't sit as an employee. And time was ticking, and kind of halfway through, or 10 years in or so, I decided I was going to become an entrepreneur. And because I was just like, just the longer you wait, it just gets harder and that kind of thing. And then, what could you do at that time when you have those good years to do it? And so I was like, okay, let's just do it. And I was in a situation in life where it made sense. And I kind of jumped out the window of a six-figure job and said, let's go. And I was fortunate that, I had some good relationships, and I was able to piece together a group plan business that was very similar to what I was doing as an employee. And so I transitioned into entrepreneur, literally within overnight. And while I was transitioning, I got my 65 license, and that took 4 weeks. And so by the time all that happened, I was in business, because it takes a while once you leave one registration to go to another before everything hooks up. And so I was just kind of doing nothing, and I said, okay, I'll take a class, and got that next license. And and so began my career as a entrepreneur. It's a tough road, being a solopreneur, which is what I was really in the beginning. I was part of a group, and they were very supportive. They are specialists in retirement plan, and so it was a good group to initially get with for me, and because I knew some of the people there as well. And that I was it was still an independent shop, and I was experiencing some plans transitioning away, and some revenue decreasing as a result of that. And it was a little tough there for a moment, because entrepreneurship is up and down, that. But I was making okay, but I wasn't growing, and so I was like, I need help on the retail side of client acquisition, because going after retirement plans takes a long time. The sales cycle is much longer, and I wasn't really um, focused on acquiring new plans because of the sales cycle, and I wanted to do more individual stuff because I had also had a life change and had a son being born, so I didn't want to be on the road as much, and so that was a big part. Is like I really kind of needed to restructure to where I wasn't driving so much with a infant and at the house, and so that drove a lot of it. It just was a good time for me to change my business model, and I started looking at different business models out there. I tried out the agency coming from the independent, strictly independent where I was. They're great. They give you a lot of access to products and services, and even to training and support. Just handling it is excellent. And they have even a growth program in there. There's some good opportunities out there. I will say that on the independent side. But for me, what I could see was I needed a more direct path, a well-trodden path to where I wanted to go.
Yes.
Because, I just felt like I was trying to learn too much and do too much. It was just like, man, there's so many choices out here. And it's like,
Right.
what do you do? And so I realized that my business knowledge was not that great. I had a good skill set as a technician, but from a business owner standpoint, which is what you have when you have a practice, but I had really no skills in that. And those are really two different things. And so I hired consultants and did training to try to figure that out. And I wasn't able to put it together. There were some limitations in my identity at the time, and that I realize now. And they say you have your identity is really, you can't out earn or really outproduce that identity. And so I was operating through this limited identity where I felt like I couldn't attract the type of clients that I would need in order to be a successful practice individually.
Yes.
Right? Because the model that I was taught was like, if you want to be a seven-figure if you want a seven-figure practice, which is my goal, and they said you need to get 100 people that have $1 million, and then you've got seven figures every year. It's a simple formula.
Uh-huh.
But you just got to know those people with the million.
Yeah, if you don't know them, you don't know them.
Yeah, if you don't know them, you have to go figure out how to find them, and that was the kind of, I just didn't feel like that was going to be my path. For a number of different reasons, but I was looking around the industry. I looked at the agency model, and I went with one of those companies for a little while. It was okay, but I knew right away it was not the right fit because of the limitations on how you can run your business. It was very much so like you have to have a certain amount of their stuff going through your grid in order to really do the business and to benefit. And so I was like, well, I don't really, what if they don't need that stuff? What if they want this stuff? And
Exactly.
so that was a problem with that. And so I immediately kind of was looking for a way to transition out of there. And I started looking at, some of my friends who I had seen I had met them before, and kind of dipped my toe into what we're doing now at Wealthwave. And I was hanging around the office, so I've been exposed to it, but I just kind of wasn't sure about it. And then I watched. Honestly, I was like, okay. And then I saw some people achieving some things. And I was like, okay, so there's something to that. Because I was like, this is interesting. And so I started studying the business that we're in as a business, you know,
Right.
and so the business is different than the practice. The practice is one thing, and the business is really a different thing. The business is in the industry, and it helps to help. It does the same thing the practice does, and you have a practice that's part of the business, but it's more than that. It's a bigger domain, and you really can build a more stable business.
Right.
If you are depending only on your individual ability to practice, then you have to be at the wheel all the time. You don't
Yes.
get to step away as much. And like even with that model, um, with the 100 millionaires that you have under management,
Mhm.
under in your practice or whatever, um, you probably can't just go away from the business for like more than a couple months. I mean, because
Yeah, I mean, you gotta maintain it.
yeah, you got to maintain it. And with what we do at Wealthwave, I have the ability to build a business that really I don't have to have any day-to-day involvement in at some point. And that's appealing. That's really appealing. It's like it's a different, because everybody wants, like, you go into business because you want the freedom
Yeah.
and the lifestyle. And you can have a great lifestyle in this industry just on your own practice. You can. And you know that's a way to do it. You don't have, it's simple. And the thing about the reason that most people probably choose that is because it is simple. You don't have to worry about other people. Now, one of the things I realize here is that I don't have to worry about other people, but I can still benefit because everybody has their own practice
Yes.
and their own business. And, yeah, I'm a leader and I help people, and I'm responsible for developing them and training them to a certain point, getting them up and running. But, that's not that difficult. That's
Right.
it. That just, and it adds to my practice. So this month, I'm helping people uh, write some annuity business, and you know, I didn't have a lot going on that day or that week, so it worked out. It was like, okay, I'm helping them, but ultimately, I don't have to deal with that business. They have to do the paperwork, they have to follow up everything, but I still get compensated,
Right.
because of the help that I gave them. And I think that's an excellent way to live. It's a better way to be in the business. I still have my clients. I'm working on my annuities and my own individual business, and I don't have to work as hard to have the same amount of income. And ultimately, they will grow into uh, fully independent units that will never call me about any business whatsoever.
Right. And then you're still getting compensated. So,
And
I
I
mean,
still get compensated.
why wouldn't you want to have this business model where you train people to have their own individual business? You're getting compensated, they're getting compensated, and you just keep building and building and building, and the sky's the limit. Who wouldn't want an opportunity like that? And as you stated, man, the freedom once you get to that point to where you can walk away and not have to worry about being in your day-to-day operation for maybe a month if you wanted to take a month off to go travel or whatever. As an employee, I've been in public safety for 20 years. There's absolutely no way I would be able to take a month off from work to do that type of stuff. So the freedom of the entrepreneurship and building your own business, as you stated in this, is an opportunity that until I got into this business, I had never had before. And I look up to people like you and other people around us that have moved up over the years. And it's mind boggling to me because I've never experienced anything like this before. And it's just a great opportunity to see this and to, you know, obviously I like helping people because I've been in public safety. So to help people not only secure their financial needs throughout their entire life, but their grandchildren as well, but then to help people build a business as well, it's the best opportunity I see out there, and I don't know why any individual wouldn't take advantage of this. Uh, when we see people every day in other parts of our daily lives to where they're in that Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, whatever grind. And like you said, you're there. You don't have other opportunities. And in a sense, your salary's capped. You touched on that just a little bit because you can only do so much in a day. But when you're building this team, it's endless. I mean, what's the limit of people that you can put on your team?
There is no limit. You can build whatever you want to build, however big you want to build, and it's amazing, you know.
It's,
And the system of training and developing those people is amazing. It does it for you, and it just getting people and putting them into the system, and they can grow and develop on their own, just being exposed to the system.
and that's what it is. It's a system. You follow a system, you'll be successful. And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this, and I've been here for a little bit now. Still, I call myself new because I've not been in it as long as a lot of people around me. But it's amazing to me to see the support that we offer people, the training that's available out there. It's like nothing I have ever seen or ever heard of before. And like I said, I've been in public safety. We train all the time, but it's nothing like what we get here. And I can pick up a phone, I can call you or some of our other people and get answers that, very easily. And that is huge for me as I'm still learning in this process to navigate my way through this. And I do appreciate all of the support that everybody here gives us. It's one of a kind for me. And, you know, it's it's an adjustment to go from employee to where you have to run every single thing by your employer, days off, call in sick, whatever, to the point to where not feeling it today. I'm gonna take a sick day and then doing what you want with your time, or like you said, you had a young child. You was able to spend more time with your child in this area than it would be other way. So it's life changing on multiple levels, and the rewards we get here and being a business owner versus somebody, and I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody, but let's look at a franchise, for example. Those franchise owners, they're in there, they're in the grind, having to put in 80 hours a week. Now they get compensated. I mean, in all reality, when we're working with our other business owners and helping them grow and build, to me, it's not as difficult as being a franchise owner of, say, a fast food chain. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, our business is such that, it's really difficult to compare it to something like that. But because of something like that, you require a tremendous capital outlay. And you've got to put in the time to make sure that that works. And there's a lot of focus and energy put into that. Now, if that same focus and energy is put into something like this, and even, dare I say, resources, If you have that money and you put it here versus there, which one is going to do better? I don't know, but I do know that this doesn't require those kinds of resources that franchises require, and therefore it really is just up to the individual's level of focus and effort that they apply to it. And it's not a difficult business. It's a very simple business. You educate people on things that they don't know, but they need to know, and they know they need to know. And then you help them, solve a problem. And, you get compensated when that happens. And then you can teach other people to do that. And, it just sets off a chain of events that you have no idea where it's going to go, how fast it's going to go, but you can't drive the engine by doing what you can do every day. And if you put the effort in, like somebody who has a franchise of doing what you can do every day, then you have a better chance of success. I mean, even a franchise is not guaranteed to succeed.
Exactly. Exactly. We see them shut down all the time, don't run it up and down the roads. So that's an excellent point that you made there, and it's the resources I mean, to me, they feel endless because I have so many resources. And as you mentioned, the startup cost for some of these franchises are astronomical. Not like that with us. So to me, that is huge. And you can still get great rewards by being here. And I keep emphasizing on this because for me, it's life changing. I mean, it's life changing from where I was to where I'm going to be 2 or 3 years down the road. You know, helping people still, loving life, flexibility, meeting new people from all over the country that I've not met before, and getting to know different people, different personalities, and how different parts of the country work. It's for me, it's amazing because I've always liked traveling, but never been able to. And this has given me an opportunity to be able to do that more. So, I mean, it's just, to me, it's the best opportunity that I have ever come across in my life. Um, so, are there any other tips or anything that you would like to say? So, if somebody is in the Monday through Friday grind, working for, let's say, a small investment firm, little local office, could they come to us and you think they could be successful, or would they have to do a whole mind reset thing to come with us?
Well, one of the good things about us is that, you can be an average producer in the industry, have an average business. If you look at the averages, they're not that high, right? It's not like you're just hitting it out the park every year. You're making a good living, right?
Yeah.
You're able to pay your bills and do the things you need to do. I've done that at the independent shop. I've done that in the agency, and I've done it here. You adjust to the environment where you're at. Now, if you're an average producer, you're going to be an average producer anywhere, right?
Right.
But the difference is that you can scale just by pooling together other average producers, and
That's the key.
you can get better income. And so that's a great way to that's a big differentiator. Is just kind of like business model. It's like, okay, well, if I know I'm gonna be in this industry, and I know probably, my income based on what I've done in the past, is gonna be about the same. Well, how can I get it higher? You can search for a bigger contract. That's one way. It's a band-aid, really.
Yes.
Because then that caps out at some point. And then some, maybe other expenses go up as a result of that. So you really are back to even.
Right.
And then the other one is, you can look at infinite, exponential expansion, which is what this system really allows for, through the system. So you can align your efforts with other people who are kind of maybe average, and competent in the industry, but they just haven't been able to hit they want to do more. Well, pull together.
That's
It's
it.
almost like a union kind of mindset. You form a little labor union, and you all work together. And
Exactly.
and you make more.
Exactly. And what I love about it is you don't have to be in the industry to come into us. You don't have to have that knowledge, and that's because obviously I didn't being a firefighter for however many years. So I mean, to me, it's just been the best move for me, and I keep emphasizing that because to me it is. I mean, I was so unprepared. I didn't know how unprepared I was, and what really got me into this business was my unpreparedness. Uh, you know, here again, I'm a firefighter. I broke my foot while on shift one day at a house fire. I didn't go to work saying I'm going to break my foot and be able to work 9 months, but that happened. And that taught me a huge lesson because I was not prepared to be able to work one day, let alone 9 months. I learned I had to make a change. I had to make a change then. I had bills piling up. And if it hadn't have been for family, I would have been in a huge, huge mess. But fortunately, I found some great people to help educate me to get me back on track. And then they're now helping me build my own business and to be successful in this industry. And to me, that speaks volumes for the people of the company and the company model itself about how willing we are to help every single person, not just a certain group of people. And to me, that's huge.
Absolutely, absolutely. It really is. It's a great unique kind of culture, that we have here at Wealthwave, and how money works, and it's very supportive and nurturing and developing and bringing in new people into the industry, and that's part of the disruption. I mean, there are not too many places you can do the financial business part-time,
Exactly.
with all of the, being able to do full service. They're
Right.
most full service financial companies are going to require you to do that only.
Yes.
And that's a strength of why our model works. You can keep being a firefighter and build a practice and a business at the
Yes.
same time, and the practice can give you a little extra income to pay your bills, and then the business will let you get free from having to work and making it an option.
Absolutely. Well, we're coming up on the conclusion of today's show. I want to thank you again for coming on. You have given some great knowledge, and we do appreciate that. Now, if any of our listeners out there would like to contact you, maybe they're in your area or they just like you in general, they want to reach out to you to get more information, how do they go about doing that?
They can simply go to my website, KenanGodfrey.com, and there you'll see I post a lot of our news articles, and you can go to my social media from there. You can go to my How Money Works websites and things like that. So that's easy. KenanGodfrey.com.
Very good. And as always, if you have any questions for me, you can reach out to me at robbiesouth.com, ROBBIESOUTH.com. Got all my social media links there. We're all about educating people so that they can live the lifestyle they want to live. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.